Alright students, today we are going to multiply polynomials, and this is something that you have already done in the past. Let's start with one of these terms. Let's start with the 2x, and let's say that we had 2x times x plus 4. Well, to multiply the 2x times x plus 4, I have to utilize the distributive property. And basically what that says is this: I have to distribute 2x times x and 2x to the 4, and that will produce a product of 2x squared plus 8x. And that's it. So we take the same idea and we apply it to the 3 now. So we have 3 times x plus 4, same property, 3 times x, 3 times 4, and that will produce 3x plus 12. And so what we're doing here is we are multiplying a binomial by another binomial, and to do that I take one term and multiply times the x here to the 4 as we did initially, and then we take the 3 and we multiply it times the x and times the 4. So I already did it individually, now let's do it together. 2x times x, 2x squared, 2x times 4, well that's 8x, 3 times x, 3x, 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, so the next thing is this: can I simplify this polynomial? And the answer is yes. I have an x here and x here. 8x plus 3x, that becomes 11x. 2x squared plus 11x plus 12. This is set to be simplified in standard form. Remember what standard form means. It means that you have the biggest degree followed by the next degree and so on. Well, the process that I just utilize, or the strategy I just utilize to multiply my polynomial here, it's actually called the FOIL method. This is called the FOIL method. And let me show you why it's called the FOIL method. This first term that I multiply, that's the first. Then I multiplied the outer. That's where the L comes from. Then I multiplied the inner, followed by the last. Thus, we have this acronym called the FOIL method. And we can utilize this method when we multiply polynomials, whether it's a binomial, trinomial, or so on. The process is the same. Let's do a few more examples. For example, let's say we have 4x squared plus 3, and I have another binomial, 4x plus 2. First letter of the acronym FOIL stands for first. So that's 16x to the third. Then we have 4x times 2, and that becomes 8x to the second. So I have the F, the O. I'm going to do the inner. the inner, the I. 3 times 12x, I'm sorry, 3 times 4x, that becomes 12x. Then I'm going to utilize the last acronym, which is last. 3 times 2, and that becomes 6. So the next part I have to do is simplify my polynomial. However, in this case, we don't have any like terms. They're all different, which means I am finished. And my answer is also in standard form. What does that mean? Well, it means that first term has the biggest degree, followed by 2, 1, and 0. So this is how you multiply polynomials. Well, what if we had something that looks a bit different, such as x plus 3, this is a binomial, times 2x to the third plus 4x minus x. The idea is the same, is that you start with this one, first term of your binomial, and you multiply it times 2x cubed times 4x times negative x. And that will produce 2x to the fourth plus 4x squared minus x squared. Okay, so we are done with the first term. Now let's distribute the 3 to all terms here. 3 times 2x cubed, that becomes 6x cubed. 3 times 4x, well, that becomes 12x. 3 times negative x, that becomes negative 3x. Okay, so the next step is to look for any like terms. In this case, I have those two. I have these two. So I have 2x to the fourth plus 4, well, excuse me, this becomes 3x this becomes 3x squared plus 6x to the third, and this becomes 9x. Now I'm done simplifying them. All I have to do now is make sure that my answer is in standard form. Okay, make sure that my answer is in standard form. So what does that mean? It means that my answer has to have the biggest degree to begin with, followed by the lesser degree, and so on. So the biggest degree here is going to be x to the fourth. So I have 2x to the fourth, followed by, notice this is a 3 here, plus 6x to the third, plus 3x to the second, plus 9x. Now I am completely done multiplying these two polynomials, and it's already simplified. I hope this makes sense. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will do my best to answer them as soon as I can.